Welcome into another edition of The Session with Londa and David. My name is David Austin.
I'm Londa Sherwood Austin. Welcome back.
Okay, it's a whole new month. We're back at it. We're hitting the ground running. And we have a lot to talk about on today's show. What are we looking at here today, sweet girl?
Sweet girl. What did you almost say? Don't say it. Whatever you almost said, don't say it. It's probably not podcast appropriate. It's not on brand. I mean, it is, but yeah. So a lot of interesting feedback from last week's show. If you didn't listen to it, I really encourage you to go find it, listen to it. It made a lot of people think exactly what I hoped it would do. People called it raw, authentic, surprising.
People got misty-eyed, they said, just like you.
What was the name of that episode? Can you change your life?
Can you?
I still say yes. Everyone has the opportunity.
I still say, I hope everyone has the opportunity, but I don't know that everyone does. Mm-hmm. You can choose to make things go your way, though. I know that. I believe that.
Yeah. So go give that episode a listen. I think you'll find it really interesting and insightful, encouraging and inspiring.
And you look hot today. I'm sorry. I'm just checking you out. You're wearing your peach-colored shoes and top, complimenting the shoes, and I really, really like it. So there you go. That's all the flirting you're getting out of me during this episode.
I doubt it. It's part of your charm,
I guess.
On today's episode, I think you'll probably find, if you listen all the way through the end, you, of course, are going to get a restaurant review nobody asked for, and you didn't see this one coming, so
I sure didn't
stick
see
around.
It coming.
I think we're also going to touch a little bit on the importance of vulnerability and communication when you're going through something hard.
Yes.
I also want to talk about kind of the importance of mothers in society as we're coming up to Mother's Day.
Okay.
This will be our opportunity to really talk about that a little bit. It kind of goes hand in hand with vulnerability and communication.
I like that.
Yeah. And then, if we have time, I have a real estate request that I'm going to get to, but I'll save it till the end.
Okay. So how do you want to jump into this? Do you want to start with the restaurant review nobody asked for?
Let's go. I think it'll
prom season.
Oh, yeah.
I found that out in real time on Saturday night.
Okay, so we were driving around on Saturday, just farting around, as my mom used to say, and killing time. We found ourselves with a lot of just like free time.
I don't think we were killing time. I don't remember what we were doing exactly. What were we doing?
Well, if you don't remember, then just trust me that we were killing time.
Okay.
We were driving around, and I asked you to drive. We didn't have anywhere to be, is what I'm saying. We didn't have an appointment.
Oh, I got
And I asked you to drive down toward the river and just take that river drive.
We had just finished an appointment, though, right?
I don't know. Does it matter?
Oh, I'm confused. See, that's the problem with my brain right now. I don't remember stuff. Like, we can have a conversation, and you can ask me about it 2 hours later, and I don't recall. So I don't remember what we were doing. And that's
my cross to bear in this life.
It is. It really is. Early onset dementia.
So you have to just trust me.
Okay.
Yeah. We were driving around, kind of dilly farting. We had just finished... You don't like it? That's
I
what
don't
my
like
mom
the
said.
farting thing. I don't care for it. I don't know why. No.
Okay, here's what we did. We went to a past client's kind of birthday / housewarming party. Then we went and caught the tail end, and I mean the tail end, high fives is all we caught, of our grandson's T-ball game. Then we were driving around.
That's right. So we did have appointments. That is exactly right.
And you took a phone call, and I was like pointing, giving you direction while you were on your phone call. So, oh my God, 87 minutes to get to the fact that we ended up at Cedars.
That's right. You wanted to be by the river, and you liked watching the water. So I said, let's go to dinner where we can watch the water.
Right.
And the only place you can actually watch the flowing Columbia River go by is Cedars.
Sure.
I guess you could go up to the top of the crow's nest at that hotel down there, Clover Island Inn.
Okay. Anyway.
But Cedars is it.
Cedars, I think it's now called, the formal name, official name is Cedars at Pier One.
Right.
And so,
They have
by the way, this,
rattan.
if you're not, we have a lot of listeners who don't live here, so let's just explain. Cedars is right on the river. It was opened in 1976, and it is an icon location for our area. It has a great big boat dock, so you can be on the Columbia River out, boating all day, and then dock and walk up to the restaurant and have dinner.
Yep.
It has always been a favorite date night spot. It has always been a favorite prom spot.
Right.
It has always been okay.
And I forgot that was a thing until we were there and the prom kids started filtering in.
Yeah.
It's funny because when we got there, Londa says to the guy at the door.
It was a little early. It was like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Londa says to the guy at the door, "We're here for the early bird special." She was just being Londa, being fun, kidding around. We get to our table, and there is a card with the early bird special on it.
4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Checking in for grandparent hour. I mean, for real. But I did save $5 on my salmon, so,
I saved $6 on my steak.
I don't remember what it was.
It was $6 for me.
Anywho, Cedars has been one of my favorite places to go forever. The restaurant is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if you're from here, it's a thing, right? It's currently up for sale, which is interesting too. Because I'm looking around at it and, I've got restaurant in my blood a little bit. And so I'm like, gosh, if this was my place, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I would do. Like, are you sure we don't know an investor who wants to buy a restaurant? I will just leave real estate and go run a restaurant. I never really would. But I mean, maybe given the right, anyway, it's silly. But, yeah, so I'm looking at it like that, and we're kind of talking to the server about it. She's been there for a long time, 8 years, I think she said. And we're talking about how, it deserves to be purchased and run by somebody who's as in love with it as I am and as she is. And we were kind of connecting over that and everything. So if you're looking for an awesome restaurant, that's the one to buy. The current owners bought it in 2019, and I think COVID just took their feet out from under them a little bit. And and they've got a lot of projects. I don't mean to say it's not a viable place. I think it truly is.
I do think it was
but they have a lot of
though,
projects that they're involved with.
The building is for sale, but the business is not for sale.
So
and what that tells me is they don't want you looking at the books. COVID must have been hard.
Oh, well, they were shut for a year.
They're not offering a look at the books.
Right.
Do you see what I mean?
I do.
That's implied. It doesn't say that, but it says the business is not for sale. The building is.
Right. The building and all its belongings.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're buying a ready-to-go restaurant if you buy it for a little over $3 million, but
right at $3
you're
million.
not looking at the books because you're not buying Cedars at Pier One.
Which, just my opinion, I think that's a little steep. But you said I would renovate it and turn it into a residence.
I sure would. It's super cool construction. The facility itself is awesome, and it would be like a Tony Stark style.
I mean, it would be really
super cool Iron Man headquarters if I bought it.
So, it's hard. I want to do just the restaurant review nobody asked for. I don't want to this is what I would do differently, but there's a lot I would do differently. Okay, so restaurant review only, focusing on that. I would say, I would probably give it on a scale of 1 to 10, a 7 overall.
Is nostalgia part of that number?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to just separate in my brain.
So I think our service was a 9. Very good service. I thought our food was a 7. Our dessert, one of them was a 9. The second one, -42. And it was just that they had a problem with one of the desserts, and it's probably not common there. But
every chef knows you have to test.
Yes.
You have to check everything you make.
The creme brulee was not up to snuff that night.
Bruh. It tasted and looked like scrambled eggs.
That's exactly what it looked like.
With
a burnt layer on top.
The sugar crust on top. It was terrible. To their credit, she said, "Hey, is your creme brulee okay? You guys aren't really." And I was like, "You tell me."
Right.
And she was mortified. Just the way it looked, you could tell. And if you follow me on social media, I for sure posted it on my Facebook. Or on my stories. I didn't tag them or anything. Nobody even knew where we were. Well, they do now. But it was. The
creme brulee needed to be thrown out.
She took it away
That's the
immediately, and I said they need to not be serving this tonight.
Right. Yeah, that was a miss. But everything else was spectacular. And I did feel very nostalgic when we were there. And then all the kids in their prom outfits started coming in.
So
it was
cute.
the cutest thing in the whole wide world. So I loved it, but I'm really into the nostalgia of going there and looking at your eyes as you're looking around the place and trying to figure out what you do. It was just a magical time for me.
I think that would be the only thing that could ever pull me from real estate is if I had a really good offer to run a restaurant like that. It would have to be an icon kind of thing. It would that would definitely be tempting if somebody offered me that opportunity.
If you were the owner, you wouldn't do it just to be a manager of it, though.
Oh, God, no.
You know what I mean? Though? You don't have 60 to 90 hours a week to make manager of a restaurant money.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But I for sure would figure out how to convert the top level, which is now just a very small area. I would probably expand that into a residence and live right on top of the restaurant.
Yeah, but if you did that, the ambiance of the look of the place would be tarnished.
I would do
it
without. That's all part of the consideration of the architecture, right? But
I don't know how you could do it.
I don't either.
The
but maybe there's a way.
That is there now is just a tiny office, tiny.
Yeah. Well, I'd figure it out.
Okay, there you go. That's so.
Anyway,
long story short, the food is good. The service is great. Not as clean as it could have been. I'll be honest. That took points off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only reason the service was a 9 not a 10 is because she forgot my soup.
There were a couple things, but not everybody's perfect.
And she was delightful and very contrite. She definitely felt bad about forgetting the soup, and it was fine with the meal.
And hot tip, the drinks are way underpriced.
Way underpriced. And let me tell you something. A Long Island iced tea, go get one before they realize what they got, because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
We spent 2.5 hours there.
We did.
It was marvelous. And I loved it. And you're right. The prom kids were so cute.
I loved it. There was a neat table right across from us. And the way we were positioned in the booth to look out at the river, we couldn't help but look at those kids because they were in our field of view. We couldn't look away.
We could see like 4 tables.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's enough of that. If you are in or near Tri-Cities, Washington, you haven't been to Cedars in a long time, we would love for you to go and give us your feedback and tell us what you think about it.
I did hear from a listener to the podcast that they went to 2 of the restaurants that we reviewed, and their reviews to me were very similar to our reviews. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we don't need to get deeper into that, but I think it's interesting that people are now going to the restaurants that we review and telling me about their experience. I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. What was we don't need to get deeper into it. Was that code for don't say anything more?
No, that's just it's neat that that's happening. That's a fun phenomenon.
We sent our listeners, and Hyde's fries were still cold. I said it. It needs to be said. They need to know. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And then,
hey, a quick flash fry before you send them out. It's an easy solution. Mm-hmm. I want them to succeed. Right?
Meanwhile, I had another listener tell me that they went to Hyde and their fries were hot and fresh. And I got that feedback this morning. Mine were neither hot nor fresh, and another listener's were neither hot nor fresh. Mm-hmm. But the listener that I spoke to this morning said theirs were hot and
Oh, well,
fresh.
there you go. Maybe they fixed it.
And they were pleasantly surprised because they were expecting old and cold fries because of what I said.
All right.
So anyway, no, I wasn't trying to hide what that wasn't the point of what I was saying.
Oh,
what
okay,
I was
good.
saying,
because
what I
I
was
just said
trying
it
to
anyway.
say was that people are going to the restaurants that we're reviewing and telling me about
And
it.
thank
And I
you
think that's
for
pretty
doing
cool.
that. Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. So go to Cedars and let us know what you think.
Okay. So kind of piggybacking on last week's episode, we got pretty vulnerable about a few things. Let's continue that trajectory for just a few minutes on vulnerability.
Okay.
And the importance of vulnerability and communication, specifically when you're going through something difficult. For me, my tendency is to isolate when I'm going through hard things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll isolate. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to do anything. My circle gets very, very small, non-existent. It's you and me, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And until I'm through it. Once I'm through it, now I'll come out and be more. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. I'm just gonna admit it right now. I know that's not good. Which is maybe why I'm more open on this podcast, because I know it's important to be open and vulnerable and talk through things and all that kind of thing. And I want to encourage people to do that. And maybe at the same time, I'm encouraging myself, right?
Okay. So you're coaching yourself as you go.
Sure. We had an interesting encounter yesterday at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the gym, did my pool thing, which is,
I think it's fun watching you swim in the pool.
I'm in the process of recovering from some injuries, from some a little PRP, and so it's a slow road back, and it gets really frustrating. But here I'm doing what I can do. Here we go. So then after the pool, go into the sauna, which the sauna is a whole thing. Every single time in the sauna, there's somebody who's listening to their phone just full blast, like they're alone in their car.
Hey, I want to show you something. And he starts playing TikToks for his girlfriend. I'm assuming girlfriend.
I don't
could have
know.
been a
We don't
sister.
know.
I don't know. It's none of my business. I'm telling myself a story.
For the person sitting next to
him. Yeah. So I don't get it. I don't understand why people are so rude. That's rude.
There you have it, and there it is.
It's just rude. I mean, I said to you, wouldn't it be funny if they were listening to our podcast in the sauna?
Which is passive-aggressive and also rude.
Yes. If you're rude to me, maybe you're going to get some rude back at you. Maybe. Passive-aggressively, of course.
Kindness is my core value.
Well, it is. But if you're doing something that your mom would slap you in the head for.
No mom slaps anybody in the head anymore.
Well, there you go. And scene.
I mean, I'm sure it happens, but okay. So we're in the sauna, and it was packed. The gym was empty, but the sauna was cram-packed.
And I don't know how those people got into there, because we were out there for 30 minutes and didn't see a soul.
You were in the hot tub and didn't see them coming in. I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. So we're in the sauna, and it kind of starts clearing out.
Mm-hmm.
And it clears out to where there's just you and me. There's a kid over here, teenager, and I think one other person.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the fifth person left the door, this kid over here I hear him turn his music down or off. And he said to us, hey, can I ask you a question? Are you guys married at all?
That's right. Are you guys married at
nervous.
all? He was super nervous.
And we were like, yeah. He goes, well, can I ask you how long you've been married? And you told him, just barely, just 5 years. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is, the secret to a good marriage or good relationship?
And I said,
I think that's a very interesting question, is what you said. And then
I gave my opinion, and I think having a sense of awe with your partner is magic.
And you also said something else that I thought was absolutely spot on and very important.
I don't remember what I said.
If you have shared values
Yep.
and shared interests
Yep. And shared histories. You will be
those
successful.
are good. Well, maybe. Those are good foundations.
Well, I don't know how you can't be successful, though, if you have all those things. If you're interested in similar things, you have similar values, I don't know how you can't be successful unless you have a dead soul.
Right. And I don't remember if I said anything or not. I don't think I had said anything yet, like to answer the question. I was just so curious about what was really going on. And then he said, well, like just to be really honest, so I just got broken up with today.
Right. Poor little guy. Shaking things up in the sauna.
I said, how old are you? 17. And then I said, whoa, easy. I hit my microphone. I said, do you remember being 17? And when you got broken up with, you probably never did, and you just felt, like your life was ending.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's so painful. Anyway, he said 17, and I said to you, do you remember? Gosh, it just feels like your whole life is over and whatever. I said, you're 17. You're going to be okay, I promise. And then he started talking about some other things. And again, I don't want to give too many details in case somebody figures out who this kid is, and I definitely don't want to rat him out.
He was a sweet boy, nonetheless.
He said I'm doing this tomorrow, and I'm doing this next week, and I'm doing that, and he's already got a plan in place for how to move forward in life.
Ooh, you know what I didn't even think? Was it the day after prom that he got broken up with? Yes, it was the day after prom.
Oof.
That sucks.
Well, anyway.
I guess it's better than the day of prom.
The point that I want to make is, first of all, I was so impressed with this kid to be courageous enough and articulate enough to engage somebody. Let me just back it up even further. He went through a soul-crushing event, and instead of isolating or feeling sorry for himself or doing something unhealthy, he went to the gym and worked out and then went and sat in the sauna.
That's pretty good.
And that's healthy. Mm-hmm. That's good, mental health stuff right there.
Sure.
So then to be courageous enough, vulnerable enough to engage somebody he didn't even know, to just communicate in that vulnerability.
Right.
And then he told you later, because you saw him, I think, in the locker room, and he said that it was really helpful to be able to talk or whatever it was that he said.
Yep.
But it did make me think more about how important it is when we're in those moments of, I feel devastated, to be courageous and vulnerable and reach out and just engage with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm saying except to encourage people to do that.
And to not shelter in place and go to even darker corners by not communicating with people and keeping it all inside and then stuffing it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the kid. And 17 years old, so he is a kid. I don't know why I'm feeling bad about calling him a kid, right?
Yeah.
But he was definitely looking for human interaction.
Right.
And that I think is healthy and good, and that's what I do. I avoid by being involved with people.
Sure. Mm-hmm,
and I don't know that avoidance is good either, though. You know what I mean? He was talking through his stuff. That's what he was doing, and that was good.
Yeah.
I go spend time with people so I don't have to think about the horror that's happening in my head.
Right.
I can shut it off.
Now, you had a mom who you could go talk to about stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I didn't.
Right.
So Mother's Day is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And I did think when I was listening to that kid, I thought, I wonder why he's not talking to his parents about this. But maybe he already had. And they were like, here's what we think. Go to the gym. I don't know. But the importance of having a mother, being a mother who is someone that your kids can talk to. And I didn't do a good job of that necessarily. My kids were young. I wish I'd just done a better job.
I don't believe you at all. And here's what I mean. Those kids call you for everything that they need reassurance on. Every single one of them does. If somebody needs reassurance, the first person they call is you. That's a fact. So you cannot tell me that you did not do a good job with your kids.
I think that today the relationships are different than they were when they were growing up. And we have much more openness and communication. And would you agree? Yeah. The kid sitting in the room agrees.
But here's the thing. Relationships are dynamic and they should change over time.
Yeah, of course.
You can't blame yourself for something that happened 20 years ago. If you still have a relationship with the children, it's good. If you don't, then bad. It's not like you were having freak-off Diddy parties and the kids had to see it and were scarred. You know what I mean? You didn't do anything like that. You were a firm...
That was the example? God, okay. All right.
I don't get it. You know, I know you feel bad about corporal punishment.
The religious ideals that I raised them under made it impossible for them to come to me and talk about certain things.
Okay.
And that's the part I hate and I feel bad about. Now, I do think, though, there was enough of a foundation built of, hey, I'm here for you and I'm cheering for you and I'm in your corner, that now we can talk about anything. Okay? So that's what I think about that.
And that's healthy and good.
Super. And I think that's why I isolate when I'm going through something hard, because I didn't have a mom that I could talk to. I had to figure it out on my own. And so that became my habit. You just isolate till you figure it out in your own head. So tell me, what was it like being able to openly talk through stuff with your mom?
Exactly like how I openly talk through stuff with you. And the reason it was exactly like that is because that's all I know. I don't know another way. I don't know a way where you withhold information and you can't trust the person that you count on. You know what I mean? I don't know that. That's unfamiliar territory to me.
Wow.
So, you know, it's like this, how we talk to one another. And when I have a problem, I sit down with you and we talk about it. And you're like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, I never looked at it that way. That's exactly what it's like.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's great. And I love our dynamic because it is so familiar to me.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I love that.
It's awesome.
If you still have a mom, acknowledge her on Mother's Day. I don't care what the relationship is. Acknowledgement is really important. If your mom is great, awesome. If your mom's not great, you're still here because of her. I mean, you know, just some acknowledgement I think is really, really important. Don't, and I say it because I don't want you to have regret later, right? So I was a good daughter to my mom. I was. I did all the stuff and all the things, and I still have regret over some decisions I made about spending time with her. I wish I'd made her feel more special. I wish I'd spent more time. I wish I had gone a little bit more over the top, maybe put in a little bit more effort, right?
And I wish your mom treated you that way.
Oh, certainly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the kid's responsibility to show a sense of awe to the parent. It's the other way around.
Wait, that's...
The parent is the one who needs to show a sense of awe to the children so the children grow up with a good foundation and a sense of self-worth. It's not a kid's responsibility to do that for the parent. Can you imagine? You can imagine. And that's too bad.
I mean, that was my whole life, was trying to make sure that she felt good.
And that makes me pissed off. That's not your job. That's her job.
Wow. cue therapist. Shit, that was deep. Fuck, I'm gonna have to go think about that one. All right, we got the Mother's Day talk. Let me scratch that off my list. I'm gonna put a pin in that because I'm gonna have to circle back to what you said. I'm glad we have it recorded because I'm gonna listen to that. That probably is something I'm going to take to my therapist. That's not a joke. I'm going to have to chew on that for a while because that was, I agree with you. And it's such a different, that just shifted my mindset a lot about my relationship with my mom.
Well, I'm not trying to talk smack. Don't get me wrong.
No. I don't think so. Now, it doesn't shift my relationship with my kids because I am awestruck by every single one of them.
And the science shows that a kid grows up with a stronger self-worth if their parents don't just love them, don't just keep them safe, but look at them with awe. That's a scientific study.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Wow. I don't know how to get off this and segue to our clothes.
Our clothing? I like your outfit.
Clothes.
Oh, not clothes. Clothes. C-L-O-S-E,
Y'all,
clothes.
Just see what I put up with every day. This is my life every single day.
And you're welcome.
I stood in line for these tickets.
You camped out overnight, baby. You sure did. And I'm glad you did. And I look at you with a sense of awe. Every single time I look at you, I'm awestruck. Anything?
No, that's it. That's all I've got, man. I'm all tapped out on the mental stuff right now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll be a little more open and communicative and vulnerable when you're going through something hard. And I hope that you are able to celebrate Mother's Day in a way that is great for you.
There you go. I think that says it all. For Londa, Joanne Sherwood Austin, the prettiest girl in the world, my name's David Austin, and this has been another edition of The Session with Londa and David, and I definitely think you did all the right stuff with your kids, son.
Well, you weren't there, so.
I talked to your children. I talked to the kids, and they're all very happy, and a lot of them don't remember the corporal punishment as something bad. A lot of them.
I really wish we hadn't ended there, but okay. I thought we were on a good outro, and then
we'll see you next week.